It's going to be episode 7 of Ignorant Wisdom. I'm going to call this one Gentile or Jew. And I want to talk about something that was presented to me Sunday when I went to church. The concept that, the people that follow Christ are Gentiles. All right. So, let's see. Let's get the definition of a Gentile for you. The word Gentile is used to describe a person who is not Jewish. It can also be used to describe a non-Mormon, a person who is not Jewish. The word Gentile comes from the Hebrew word goy, which means nation. In the Bible, goyim was used to refer to nations of the world that were not Hebrew. The Latin versions of the Bible translated goyim as as gentes or Gentiles. In modern usage, Gentile is used to refer to a single person, but sometimes it can refer to the nations. For example, in English translations of the Bible, the Gentiles can mean the nations. The difference with this, everyone, is the fact that the Gentiles normally serve different gods. They don't serve the Most High God, the living God of Israel, or Yahweh, which separates them from being a Jew or being a Gentile. But the thing is, if you're a Christian, you also worship Yahweh, whether you want to call him that or not. His name was I Am. So, I Am is Yahweh. Ek. The other title is I Will Be. So, if you're a Christian, you can't be a Gentile. I don't see how you could. Because you have the same beliefs and ideologies of the Jews, minus the fact that, the Jews don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Messiah. They believe that he was just a prophet. Now, I want to raise this question because if they say you don't like Jews or you discriminate against the Jewish community, they call you anti-Semitic. So I want you to understand that word, Semitic. So if a black person said they don't claim to be a Jew, well, let me show you something. Semitic is a subfamily of the Afro-Asiatic language family that includes Arabic, Aramaic, Hebrew, and Amharic. Semitic languages are spoken by over 330 million people in West Asia, North Africa, the Horn of Africa, Malta, and immigrant communities in North America, Europe, and Australasia. Semitic may also refer to an ethnic, cultural, or racial group associated with people of the Middle East, such as Arabs, Jews, Akkadians, and Phoenicians. The term is rooted in the biblical name Shem, the son of Noah, who is traditionally considered the direct ancestor of the Jews and Arabs. However, the term Semite is now obsolete because there was never a Semitic people, only Semitic languages. Very interesting. Semitic meaning. First used in the 1770s by members of the Gardigan School of History. This biblical terminology for race was derived from Shem, one of the 3 sons of Noah in the book of Genesis, together with the parallel terms Hamites and Japhetites. Ethnicity and race. Asia, Africa, Europa. They have them as called, some say, ancient Semitic and Abrahamic. Now they have here the ancient Semitic religion. The speakers of the region such as the Egyptians, the Elamites, Hittites, Hurrians, Mitanni, Uritarians, Luwians, Minoans, Greeks, Phrygians, Lydians, Persians, Medes, Philistines, and the Parthians. As well as the ancient Hebrew religion of the Israelites, the Judeans, the Samaritans, Amorites, Phoenicians, Moabites, Edomites, Ammonites, the Suteans, the Sumerian, and the Assyro-Babylonian religion of Mesopotamia, the religion of Carthage, the Bataean region, Eblaites, the Ugarites, the Dilmunites, the Aramaean regions, and Arabian polytheism. Semitic polytheism possibly transitioned into the Semitic originating Abrahamic monotheism, which is Judaism, Christianity, Gnosticism, and Islam, by way of the god El, whose name El, or Elohim, is a word for God in Hebrew, cognate to Arabic Ilah, or the Allah, which means God. So I'm glad that all got to be, brought up. Now, I want to talk about something else, which would be, if you would say, all right, a black person is a Gentile, how could that be if, supposedly the blacks are the Hebrews or the Israelites, and we come from the tribe of Judah, these 12 tribes that come from Israel, which is Jacob. So if we belong to the tribe of Judah, that's the same line that you get David and Jesus Christ, and it says that, let's see. Revelation 1:14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Daniel 10:6, his body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. And the voice of his words was like the voice of a multitude. So, it's really just about what you were taught and what doctrine or beliefs you have. But if you believe that you're a Gentile as a Christian, I don't know. It's almost like you're giving away a level of power and authority that you could have, because God's chosen people are the Israelites. So if you're not taking claim to that, I don't know. But it makes sense with the Roman Catholics and some forms of, the Pentecostals and different people, because they would think, hey, we're the Gentiles, because in the New Testament it's taught that the only way to get to God is through the Son, Jesus Christ. So that's why the Apostle Paul gave you that message, the idea that that's the only way, if you're a Gentile. If you are a Gentile, you have no stake to claim to get to heaven or to know God, because you are not his people. So this one doesn't need to be too long and drawn out. This was just something that I felt like discussing on here. I'll probably do another episode later on. Probably call that one The Fallen, and talk about some different concepts. Fallen angels and different little things. So keep studying.